In today's video, I'm going to share with you 2 one-pan meal ideas. If you're in the mood for breakfast for dinner or a really hearty one skillet meal, you're in the right place. Let me share with you these easy and budget-friendly dinner ideas. All right, so our first one-pan meal tonight, we love to do a breakfast for dinner. We actually had a snow day in North Carolina this week, and we love to do breakfast for dinner, especially when it's a rainy day, a snowy day, that kind of thing. So we're gonna make a blueberry French toast casserole. You can make this overnight, or you can make it earlier in the day and have it ready for your dinner. So here's the ingredients we're gonna need. You will need 1 loaf of the French bread or Italian bread. I didn't mean to get the sliced up kind, but it'll work perfectly fine anyway. We're gonna need some brown sugar. We have vanilla, cinnamon, salt, a little milk. I'd prefer pure maple syrup, but this is what I already had, so I'm gonna just use this today. We are gonna need some eggs and of course some blueberries. So let's get this all put together. All right, so to make this blueberry French toast casserole a true one-pan meal, I'm gonna mix up our egg mixture right in the same dish that we're gonna bake it in. Basically, instead of making our egg mixture in a bowl and having our bread in here and then pouring it over, I'm just gonna mix it all in one dish, because that's the point. We're trying to make less dishes, an easy and mess-free dinner. All right, we're just gonna give our eggs a whisk. And to our dish, we're also gonna add 2 cups of milk. We're also gonna add 1/3 cup of syrup to our dish as well. And like I said, we really prefer the pure maple syrup, but we just have this on hand, so I'm gonna use it. Next, we're gonna sprinkle in 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon. And we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And now we're just gonna stir and whisk everything together again. We're also gonna add just a tiny pinch of salt, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Forgot to do that. And just whisk that in. All right, now we're just gonna bring over our loaf of bread. And if you're using French bread or Italian loaf, whatever you have, even sourdough is good in here as well. We're just gonna take the bread and break it up into kind of bite-sized pieces right in the pan that we're working with. All right, so I have all my bread in there. Now we're gonna add in 1 cup to 1.5 cups of blueberries. Those all poured in. And now I'm just gonna mix everything together, kind of stirring down in there to get that egg and cinnamon mixture all over our bread. My baking dish is a little shallow, so I gotta be a little bit careful. But we're just gonna stir it all until everything is nice and moistened. Everything is nice and combined, but you can just use a regular 9x13 baking dish for this. I had this blue pretty dish, so I thought I had to pretty much use it for this recipe. All right, I think we have everything stirred up pretty evenly. Just gonna get it spread out as evenly as I can as well. Now I just have 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it evenly all over the top of our casserole here. All right, y'all, and that's all we do. This is going into the oven at 350 for just about 45 to 50 minutes. It just came out of the oven. It is looking delicious. Lastly, we're just gonna sprinkle it with some powdered sugar. You can also just do this on the plates as well. But how perfect for a snow day dinner, right? All right, y'all, look how delicious that looks. Those blueberries in there kind of bursted open and made like a little blueberry sauce in there. Got some little crispy little edges on top where we put that brown sugar. Let's go ahead and see. The middle is soft. I can already tell. The house smells delicious. That blueberry in there looks so good. And of course we paired ours with some bacon. You don't have to do that. You can pair it with anything or nothing at all. But this is our first one pan dinner. I'll have the recipe down below. Y'all give it a try. All right, so a really quick look at the ingredients for this recipe. There is not many at all. Kind of looks like it here, but really simple ingredients. So we are going to use some breakfast sausage. You can use Italian sausage if you prefer. We just really don't care for Italian sausage, so I'm just going to use the regular. We're also going to need a little onion. I have my Better Than bouillon for some chicken broth back here. Minced garlic. We're going to use some mozzarella cheese. Of course, we're going to need a bag of frozen. It's just the cheese tortellini. We're also going to need some fresh spinach. And for seasonings, I have some garlic powder back here. Italian seasoning. We'll probably add a little pepper. Probably won't need any salt. And then, y'all, I have to tell you about my newest find, this marinara sauce right here. Or this pasta sauce, I should say. So y'all know I'm a big fan of Rayo's. We still use Rayo's all the time. But for Christmas, I made a semi-homemade lasagna, which was delicious, by the way. That was our Christmas Day dinner. So for our Christmas Day lasagna, I had planned on making my homemade pasta sauce using the San Marzano tomatoes. If you know anything about homemade pasta sauce, you know that's like the best to use. Well, I happened to see this and I picked it up and compared the ingredients on here with Rayo's, and it was exactly the same. I'll show y'all if you want to take a look at it. It's just tomatoes. Let's see, extra virgin olive oil, fresh garlic, fresh onions, fresh carrots, salt, pepper, pear concentrate, oregano, and black pepper. No preservatives, just like Rayo's. The best part about this was it's like half the price. I think it was $2.99 or $3.99. So anyway, if you have a Food Line, check there for the silver palette San Marzano pasta sauce. It was so delicious. Everybody loved that lasagna, and that was a little shortcut to my semi-homemade lasagna. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's start with this one dish tortellini tonight. All right, so we're gonna start, of course, with just a large skillet. I have a little bit of olive oil heating up in our pan, and we're gonna add, this is about a medium onion we just diced up. I'm gonna let this start to saute just until it starts to soften up a little bit. All right, next I'm just gonna add in our 1 pound of sausage in there, and we're gonna get it browned up. All right, our sausage is pretty much browned up. So next, I'm just gonna add about 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. The recipe I'm following calls for 1.5 cups of marinara, but I'm just gonna use this whole thing. Now for our chicken broth, I'm just gonna pour it down in our pasta sauce jar. Pop the lid on so we don't waste anything. Pour that in as well. Turn that down just a tad. Now I'm just going to stir everything together. All right, I'm going to turn this back up just a little bit, and we're going to bring this up to a simmer. All right, we are back up to a simmer. We're just going to add in this bag of cheese tortellini. This stirred in, and then this only takes 5 or 6 minutes to cook in this liquid. So I'm just going to get it stirred in here. I might pop a lid on this. We're also going to go ahead and add in about 2 cups of our spinach. As our tortellini cooks, our spinach will cook down as well. And I might add a little bit more water, a little bit more broth. I'm just going to keep an eye on it and kind of see what our tortellini needs. But you can do the same. You may not need to add some, or you might think you need to add probably another 1/2 cup or so. Alrighty, our tortellini is nice and cooked. That spinach is cooked way down, as you can see. It smells really good. I did taste one of the little tortellini to make sure they're done, and they are perfect. It is delicious already. But lastly, I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it down to low. I might even turn it off. We are just gonna top with some mozzarella cheese. Probably about a cup, maybe a cup and a half. And this dinner will be done. This is a true, easy, one-pan dinner. And did not take long at all. This whole thing, even with filming, only took about 30 minutes to make. And I'm gonna pop the lid back on just to let that melt a little bit. My whole family truly loved this dinner. It was absolutely delicious. And if you stop by today, go ahead and leave me a blueberry emoji down there in the comments. I would love to say hello to you. And if you love today's video, if you would like more easy, budget-friendly dinner ideas, I have another video right here on the screen. You can go check that one out right now. I'll meet you over there, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.